After welcoming the very first member of the reborn Blue Beyond, Alma Giudicali, the granddaughter of the legendary assassin Alcor Giudicali, by putting her through a test to see if she syncs well with him, Noel takes up a bandit capturing job as the first mission for the rebranded Blue Beyond. Will the mission go smoothly, or will the two be faced with a challenge they aren't yet aware of? Let's find out in episode 4 of Notorious Talker Runs the World's Greatest Clan. Finally arriving at their destination, Noel and Alma get a wholehearted welcome from the person who hired them. Noel greets him back. The employer asks Noel where the rest of his company were. Noel tells him the others left and only Alma and he were here for the job right now, although he should rest assured that they will certainly get the job done by evening. The employer laughs nervously and welcomes the two into his home. As the employer's young daughter hides away from Noel because of her clear infatuation with him, Noel gets on with discussing the agreement. According to the agreement, Blue Beyond had to eliminate 20 criminal drifters who had already ransacked the village neighboring this one and had wreaked havoc there for a total sum of 500,000 fil. Noel finds out about their base from the employer, and after taking the upfront payment of 200,000 fil, Noel and Alma set off for the mission. On their way, Noel gets stopped by the employer's daughter. She shows him a bamboo cutter and tells him she practiced making them a lot after he taught the village kids how to make one last year during his visit, proudly claiming to be the one who made the best ones, admitting embarrassingly that she had treasured it ever since. Noel shows his rarely seen soft side to her. As the little girl runs away, telling Noel she will be waiting for him at dinner, Alma can't help grinning at how Noel had completely wooed the little girl. Pretending to ignore what she just said, Noel tells her to shut up, and they continue on their way to the thieves. At their base, Noel sees that the crafty employers had lied about the total number of bandits, as there were almost 40 bandits there. Noel spots a large, tough-looking man. Noel remembers he was Gordo the Razorblade, a B-class scout-turned-thief with a bounty of 2 million fil on his head. Noel asks Alma if she would be able to defeat Gordo despite ranking below him. Alma tells him confidently that it wouldn't be a problem for her, although if his henchmen intervened, that would change things. Noel reassures her that he will take care of them. Noel tells her he had a plan. Alma activates stealth and invades enemy territory while communicating with Noel through his thought-sharing skill link. Positioning herself 10 meters away from her target, Gordo's tent, Alma waits for Noel's order to engage. Noel activates Stun Howl, immobilizing all of Gordo's subordinates, and issues the order. Kill Gordo. Boosted up thanks to Noel's buffer, Alma activates Excel at 5 times power and darts into Gordo's tent using her quick attack, skewering him in the process, which immediately kills him. Noel then immediately issues his second order, which was that Alma kills the others as they start coming out of the stun howl used on them. Alma goes into a murdering spree, slicing up the thieves like vegetables. Noel arrives, and using his flash bomb, he stuns the remaining few thieves, setting them on fire, then with his flame bullet. And with that, Blue Beyond makes easy work of the terrible bandits. The two then head back to the employer, who is surprised at their early return. Noel presents him with the head of the leader of the thieves. Elated, the employer insists they come back to his place for dinner, and the two comply. There, Chelsea, who had just recently been appraised as a swordsman, asks Noel if she could become a seeker like him. Noel says she would just have to register, and the capital will take care of the tuition. Chelsea starts getting disheartened after Noel tells her about the costs she'll have to bear afterwards. So Noel tells her there was another way too. She could do odd jobs for seekers. Chelsea asks if she could join Blue Beyond after she became a strong seeker. With his charm meter up at 100, Rizmaster Noel delights her by telling her she certainly could if Blue Beyond could live up to her expectations. As Chelsea promises to do her best, the employers bring out a special expensive wine costing 100,000 fil to celebrate the occasion. Noel takes a look at it and tells him it certainly was good wine, but it wouldn't sit well with him if the host didn't drink it first. Shocked as if he just found out his KFC order had been cancelled, the owner refuses and insists Noel drink first. As Noel presses more, the employer tells him he didn't drink wine. Finding it rather strange that he would purchase such an expensive wine if he didn't drink it, Noel peers into his soul with his sharp scarlet eyes as he tells the employer to not hold back and take the first sip. The first sip of the poisoned wine he was offering Noel. Dumbfounded at the accusation Noel had just made, the employer gets furious and denies doing anything of the sort. When he demands proof, Noel tells him that he had lied to him about the number of thieves so he could pay less, which gave away his stingy nature. So why would a man like him bring out such an expensive wine? By poisoning him and Alma, the employer could keep his money, although it wouldn't have worked as Noel had figured out the wine was cheap and that it was a trap. And Alma, a scout, was already resistant to poisoning. Seeing no way out of this, the employer gets up and yells at the two to get out right away. Noel then casts an honesty spell on him, after which he spills everything as Noel had predicted. Once the truth is out in the open, Noel jumps the employer, throwing him down and gouges his right eye. As he heads for the left, the employer starts whimpering in fear and begs for forgiveness. Noel asks him why he should be forgiven for attempted murder by just saying he's sorry. The employer gives in and agrees to giving Noel his $300 fill payment, but that doesn't cut it anymore for Noel, and he asks for everything he had while Noel appears like a giant serpent about to take his life to him. The employer, shivering in terror, yells it was the Gambino family, a part of the mob. He was in debt to them, and missing a payment would mean they killed him. In his rage, Noel doesn't care about any of that and insists he bring him everything if he valued his life. Chelsea brings out a bag with $820,000 fill, pleading to Noel to take it and let her father go. The employer tries to stop her, but she hands it over anyway. Noel takes the bag and calmly leaves. Chelsea, traumatized by what she had just witnessed, swears a deep hatred for Seekers. Noel listens and sighs. Walking back, Alma asks Noel if he was okay after disappointing someone who looked up to him. Noel answers that if he cared about what people thought, he would go live in a desert. The two notice an aeroplane flying above. Noel notes that it's a 3-star Regalia clan, Goat Dinner's airship. Upon Alma's curiosity, Noel answers that Regalia were special clans that had been acknowledged by the Emperor. Bearing 7 stars in total, there were 4 1-star, 2 2-star, and 1 3-star Regalia clans. Each clan is made up of world-class seekers of the highest caliber, and an airplane like this was one of the perks of being one. Noel then vows that in 1 year's time, they will become Regalia, when Alma suddenly remembers the night of her assassin exam. Answering his question, Alma tells the new chief it was she who had killed Alcor, and that she was the daughter of the legendary assassin, not his granddaughter. Alma tells him the man had lost his mental edge after losing to Overdeath, and would train his children to become invincible assassins as some kind of way to overcome that. She lost all her siblings because of his warped delusions. The chief then told her they didn't need her, despite her power, stating that the new line of work, which involved working as spies for the crown, wouldn't blend well with her. Struggling to comprehend why she had even spent all her life on training for, Alma breaks down, demanding a purpose, a reason to go on in life. The chief tells her to live as she likes, mentioning Noel to her, the talker grandson of Overdeath, who had been gaining notoriety as of late in town. He tells her to go talk to him. Alma comes back to her senses, embraces Noel firmly, and vows to always fight alongside him. Stay connected, like and subscribe for more fun recaps on one and only Endless Recaps.